Welcome to Christian Quotes TV. I would like to present to you precious quotes from man of God Billy Graham. Part 8. The Bible does not teach that sin is completely eradicated from the Christian in this life, but it does teach that sin shall no longer reign over you. I am convinced that when a man sincerely searches for God with all his heart, God will reveal himself in some way. The most thrilling thing about heaven is that Jesus Christ will be there. I will see him face to face. Jesus Christ will meet us at the end of life's journey. The same hand that made trees and fields and flowers, the seas and hills, the clouds and sky, has been making a home for us called heaven. God's hand never slips. Before prayer changes others, it first changes us. Talk about God can become dreary and lackluster if God isn't in you. God is more interested in your future and your relationships than you are. I look forward to death with great anticipation, to meeting God face to face. Remember, He wants your fellowship, and He has done everything possible to make it a reality. He has forgiven your sins, at the cost of His own dear Son. He has given you His Word, and the priceless privilege of prayer and worship. When God forgives us and purifies us of our sin, He also forgets it. Forgiveness results in God dropping the charges against us. God never tempts any man. That is Satan's business. Salvation is always good news. It is news of God's love and forgiveness, adoption into His family, fellowship with His people, freedom from the penalty of sin, liberation from the power of sin. Perhaps the greatest psychological, spiritual, and medical need that all people have is the need for hope. I think that hell essentially is separation from God forever. And that is the worst hell that I can think of. But I think people have a hard time believing God is going to allow people to burn in literal fire forever. I think the fire that is mentioned in the Bible is a burning thirst for God that can never be quenched. Suffering can give us opportunities to witness. The world is a gigantic hospital. Nowhere is there a greater chance to see the peace and joy of the Lord than when the journey through the valley is the darkest. Commitment to great causes makes great men. When we live apart from God, our lives get out of tune, out of harmony with others and with God. But if we live in tune with the Master, we, too, will find ourselves surrounded by His beautiful music. As this new year begins, ask God to help you tune your life every day to His Word, so you can bring harmony and joy to those around you. Heaven is real and hell is real, and eternity is but a breath away. It was not the people or the Roman soldiers who put Jesus on the cross. It was your sins and my sins that made it necessary for Him to volunteer His death. Yes, Satan is real, but so is Christ, and someday Satan will be defeated and Christ will rule forever. Don't be deceived, but open your heart and mind to Jesus Christ, and put your life into His hands. God has given us two hands, one to receive with and the other to give with. Can you see God? You haven't seen Him. I've never seen the wind. I see the effects of the wind, but I've never seen the wind. There's a mystery to it. God will not force Himself upon us against our will. If we want His love, we need to believe in Him. We need to make a definite, positive act of commitment and surrender to the love of God. No one can do it for us. I only know that when Jesus is with a person, that one can endure the deepest suffering and somehow emerge a better and stronger Christian because of it.